Hi, fifth grade. This is Mrs. Harrison. Welcome to your next lesson for today. It is Thursday, September 3rd, I believe. I got that right. And we are going to do our next lesson. So if you're writing your notebook, we are going to talk about place value. We're going to continue with place value, and we're going to be doing rounding. So this week, again, we're just doing a review over whole numbers. And you've already done this before in the past, but again, it's just review. So you can pause the video and you can write in your table of contents. So let's get started. So I went ahead and started writing the notes for today. So I'm going to go ahead and go over those with you. So we're doing place value rounding. So you can round numbers based on the given place value. Okay. So you might have heard, round 578 to the nearest tens. So I can round the number 578 to the nearest tens place if I take these steps. And you might have remembered these steps in the past. So we're just going to jog our memories. So I'm taking the number 578 and I want to round to the nearest tens place. While thinking about place value, I know what the tens place is here in this number. So I know the 8 is the ones, the 7 is the tens, and the 5 is the hundreds. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to underline that place that it's asking. So if it's asking for the tens, I'm going to underline the digit that's in that place. Okay? I'm going to underline that 7. And then the next thing I'm going to do is for step number 2, I'm going to look to the right. So I'm going to look to the right of that digit that I've underlined. And this is going to tell me, right, this digit here is going to tell me what to do to the number that I underlined. Okay. Now, you probably remember the rule, 5 or more, add 1 more, 4 or less, let it rest, or something like that. So that's what you're going to follow. If the number to the right is 5 or more, so 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, then you're going to add 1 more to the underlined digit. So I'm going to add 1 more plus 1 to the digit that's underlined. Okay, so if I add that, 7 plus 1, then I'm going to get 8. And that's right here. So I'm going to make this 7 and 8. Now the next step is the digits to the right. So the digits to the right of the number that you have underlined are now going to be zeros. So you're going to keep the digits the same that came before. So 578 rounded to the nearest tens is going to be 580. Okay. Now what happens if the number that you circled was less than 4? So if it is less than 4, so I did an example here, 548, I underline the place value. I'm rounding to the nearest tens. I look to the digit to the right. Okay. Uh-oh. That's not going to work, is it? It's going to round it up. So let's create another number. So let's delete this or cross that out. Let's do 542. Okay, there we go. So if I do 542, I round it to the nearest 10. I'm going to look at the 4, look at the number to the right, and if this digit is 4 or less, you're going to leave this underlined digit, you're going to leave it alone. Okay, so that means that's going to stay a 4. The numbers after, the same thing, the digits to the right are still going to be zeros, and then everything in front stays the same. So 542 rounded to the nearest 10 is 540. See, I made a mistake up here. But that's okay, it happens. We learn from them and then we move on, right? So 542 rounded to the nearest 10 is going to be 540. Okay, so what you're going to do today to practice is you're going to actually take some time away from your screen today. And this is what your slide looks like for today. So it looks like this. And I have a little cheat sheet in there for you on how to round. Okay, and so here are the directions. Today you will take a break from the screen. I want you to write down in your math notebook, in your binder, or just on a sheet of paper if you have a sheet of paper. And I want you to come up with at least 4 numbers that you can round. Okay, so I want you to round 4 numbers, right? Either to the tens, hundred thousands, millions, and hundreds. And keep in mind that one of those numbers has to be at least in the millions so that you can round it up, right? So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So this is your rounding assignment. So you need 4 numbers. So I chose 4 numbers here, and I'm going to go over those numbers with you. These are my numbers. I want you to come up with your own, okay? So these are mine. So I came up with 7,942, 924,719. This one is 2,476,129. And the last number I came up with was 75,129. So what I'm going to do is I know I need to have one that's at least rounded to the tens, right? So I don't know, let's say I choose this one. Okay, this is my tens place. And I'm rounding this to the nearest tens. So I'm going to show my steps. Underline, look at the digit to the right. 5 or more, you're going to add one more. Or if it's 4 or less, you're going to leave that digit alone. So it's 4 or less. So this number is going to continue to stay a 4. The numbers after turn into zeros, and the numbers before stay the same. So that is rounded to the nearest tens. The next one, let's say I want to do this one to the nearest 100,000, right? Because that's the place value that that one goes to. So if I look here, so this is ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. So that's what I'm going to do this one. So I'm going to underline that place. I'm going to look to the digit to the right. And remember, 5 or more, I'm going to add one more. If it's 4 or less, I'm going to leave it alone, right? I'm going to let it rest. So that means that 9 is going to stay a 9. And the digits after, are going to stay zeros. I'm going to turn to zeros. So 924,719 rounds to the nearest 100,000. It's going to be 900,000. So you're going to do that for the other numbers you have. So this one's millions. I'm going to underline the millions place. Look to the right. Do my number. This one is going to be the hundreds place. Ones, tens, hundreds. Look at my digit to the right. That's going to tell me what to do. Okay, so that is your assignment for today. Now remember, if you have any questions, you can definitely get on, log on. You can ask for some assistance. When you are finished with this, you can take a picture with your Chromebook, or if you have an iPad or a phone, and you can upload it to the next slide. Okay, that's it. You guys have a great day.